what was the kind of time frame within which you wrote these stories, from the first one, maybe the oldest one, to the newest one in the collection? And also, what was the process like, and how different was it from writing the novels, which is your primary format?
The process was very different because with my novels, I usually don't start writing until I have the full story, and then I would sit down. And the big difference between writing a novel and a short story collection I've found is, with the novels, it's about the characters. You have to 100% know everything that this person will do and won't do, and how they would react in any given situation. You just really have to know all the characters completely. With a short story collection, it's much easier in that sense because you don't have to know the characters. You just have to think about one scene, just one scene, and then you put like interesting people in there and then see what might happen, and then how you got to that scene or how you go from that scene. You don't have to give them a full picture. So it's just, think of it as like zooming into someone's life and then zooming out. So it's like a moment in a time of their lives, and that's it. So when I in terms of like actual writing, with my novels, I would write them in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks sometimes, because then I would only sit down once I have everything. So then I would sit down and then I would write the first draft. And when I'm writing, I'm not really doing much more. I'm still working, but like not really that actively. I would find that time to just focus on writing. With this one, it was like a little more turbulent because there were a lot of breaks. And then every story, I think I took 1 day or 2 days to write. So I would go sit down and like do the whole story, and then I would not sit back down for like a week, and then I would sit down again and then write another story. So I sent them to you separately also, like in clumps of 2 or 3, because that's how I was writing. Because also I think the break was necessary. I know that we were on a deadline and then we were kept missing it, but at the same time it was like, if you have to come out of this and like fully like leave it and then go into something else, it's really, you want to make it sound different. It's all coming from me, but it's all supposed to be in other people's heads, and these people are so different from each other, and these stories are so different. Like, all the characters are not the same age, not the same circumstances, not the same even geographic location, and all of those things. So I wanted the insides of their heads, those voices, to sound completely different. And I think that's for that, it was necessary to take those breaks. So I think for a short story collection, it did take a few months, maybe February through April or January to March. I don't remember exactly what it was. But then whenever I would sit down to write, it was 1 or 2 days, and then I would leave. And then I would come back like a week later or something like that. So the actual writing time would be the same as writing a novel.
But it's just spread over.